did you see what the Theo caught that I'd accidentally registered into adults?
Yes. I thought you did that on purpose.
No. And we're just fantasizing about if I rocked up, like ready for my Masters match, and I get like some young buck. No.
I remember he gave me some shit when I registered for adults in VIX. And he said, what the hell, why would I do it? But yeah.
That's it, man. Actually, that's the thing. I should have just said I'm copying you, Theo, but I didn't.
Yeah, I thought you were being very brave because it's, especially at Purple, they must be killers at the...
Absolutely. All right, guys. 100th episode of Roll or Die, Kim. This is pretty amazing, isn't it?
This is. And we don't have a guest, but we have the behind the scenes
What are you talking about? Hang on.
Moving into the side of the screen, so yep.
We have the man who puts all the podcasts together joining us today, Theo, my partner Theo Potgieter.
Hi everyone.
Hi buddy, you have been such a huge help, man. Like seriously, without Theo, like I was at my wit's end just trying to do these shows with Kim each week and then edit them down. And Theo, for the love of this, has come in and swooped in like a giant, huge, muscled angel. and with his giant arms, he's sitting there editing podcasts. I don't know how he even does it, but yeah, he's really made it work. So
he's very good at multitasking.
But it was a labor of love, definitely, Anton. Like you said, it's awesome to be part of the show, just even in the background. And I think there's lots of guests who's also really enjoyed the show. So even from afar, it's beautiful.
Yeah. For our listeners, in the past, Anton and I actually started this podcast just having a phone conversation, he and I, and then his idea was that we would record those conversations and release it as a podcast, which we did do for about 5 or 6 episodes, I think. And then he suggested that we have a guest on, and we started interviewing people. Anton would put that together by editing it, but I would often get quite frustrated, would you say, Anton, at the editing process? And I think that's partly why Theo stepped in to take it off your hands.
I didn't entirely volunteer. I was kind of forced to take over the duties from you, Anton. So
because of my complaining.
It's actually arguable that without Theo, the show may no longer have existed. So thank you, Theo, for the show.
I think you give me too much credit. It would still have happened, maybe just not as quickly. So
but Anton and I would no longer be speaking to each other.
You would have severed my head from my shoulders in some sort of open mouth or something. I also want to give a quick shout out to the Fight Back Project. I'm wearing their rashie today. This is amazing, right? I bought this rash guard, and when I went in to pick it up, there's a box full of them. Lots of people in our gym had participated. It's a great cause. You should do your own research on the Fight Back Project. Georgia Berry, Mish is involved as well. I'm not sure who else is involved, but it's an amazing project. And they wrote me like a full-on custom little note just to me. Like that's how much effort and then I was like, oh, I'm special. But then I look in the box and there's like, I don't know, 15 other rash guards in there. And each of them has a note this long, fully personally written to each and every person. They really value their people in their network. So yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out because to me, that's an amazing way to do business. It makes me just want to participate.
I don't have 3 XLs, unfortunately. Otherwise, I might have.
Yeah, fair enough. We could stitch a couple together for you, right? We'll just cut them in half and
put them together. Yeah, Georgia was one of our guests. I've had very good feedback from some listeners that I've chatted to about that podcast. So that was one. I don't know when was that? Sometime last year.
Yeah.
Through one of our lockdowns. I don't actually remember what number podcast. They all started to blur together. To me.
Yeah. Well, maybe I should share my screen, should I? And we'll start to scroll through and have a look at what went down.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Are you going to start at sort of around the 50 mark, or
we're going to start it exactly at the 50 mark, and we can go from there.
Yeah.
Scroll on up and have a look.
I think 50 was the recap. So
that's right. Yes, Jeremy Skinner was the one just before it, and then we got DC in for number 51.
Oh
wait, there we go. 52.
Now, this is interesting. What I didn't realize, it's kind of gone from 50 to 52. Yeah. So I'm not sure how the algorithm works. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, okay. I've written it. Yeah, I've written it down. 51 was DC.
That was an amazing podcast.
DC was a great one. Yes.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
really talking about his brother.
Yeah, they've gone to the biggest space actually in Camberwell, DC
Right.
and Academy.
Yeah, so much time for DC. Such a great guy. You should check out that episode for sure, guys.
We could do another episode with him. Really, he had a lot to say. That was great.
52 was JT. Like a friend of the show.
Again, I think the third time. Yeah, he's been on 3 times.
Yeah, this was the second time.
53 was Gerald Batty. That was another really good one. That one, he had a lot of very good stuff to tell.
Yeah, he's just so, and he's gone on to connect us to so many more of the shows that came up as a result. Like he really became, he loved what we're up to, and just I think 3 or 4 of the guests that came on, you reached out to him and said, "Have you got anybody else?" And he really went.
Yeah, he was great. He's got some great ideas. There's still another 15, 20 people that he suggested that we could still get on as guests, actually.
Yeah, and we should probably get him back at some point as well.
Mm.
Then we started to do like, this was when
we did some of the BOA stuff. Oh no, this one was the analysis, the video analysis.
Yeah.
All I remember about that one was my microphone that Theo had given me for Christmas stopped working halfway through, and I couldn't communicate. But that was a really good one. We should do another one like that too, to analyze.
Yeah.
Look at that big microphone.
Yeah, I will say the microphone may not work, but God, it looks good.
It's awesome.
It looked good. Well, that's what we're here for. That's
right. But these guys are obviously good mates, and they really had a good time breaking down their match and talking about it. There's a lot of camaraderie there.
And I think that was Thiago's 3rd time on the show as well.
Our coach.
Yeah, right.
We've done some of the BOA series with him as well. Because here we're only talking about the actual episodes, but we did probably 5 or more of the BOA competitors last year, didn't we?
We did.
There's heaps of those ones.
And then there's this photo. Good. This photo is pretty epic, actually. I love this photo.
Oh, yeah.
Taken by Theo, actually. You're a part of everything, Theo. Theo and Dio.
That was on a weekend away when we...
Yeah, and Dio's in it too.
Yeah. Yeah, that was in a horse stable, wasn't it? In Marysville.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, what have we got here?
Troy Skidmore, was that the next one?
Yep.
That was a good one too.
Yes.
Yeah. His club just had a grading recently. Looked like huge. They had
I saw him on his knees. He gives out his stripes and belts on his knees. I noticed in a photo. I don't know if that's a thing he always does, but seems like an interesting way to go about it. He's a really good guy, humble guy.
He has great stories. That was great. Yeah.
And a bit of, I didn't know him at all. I'd never spoken to him really before this show. So.
No, neither. So yeah, he was very open early on.
That's right.
I think the next one was Aaron. Yeah.
Oh. I love that guy. Yeah. He bought jiu-jitsu to Turkey. that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I didn't know Thiago gave him 2 stripes. He's a 2nd degree. I didn't even know that. He's so humble.
Very down to earth.
He's really kept that to himself.
Yeah, he's a really good guy.
Yeah, that's a great one.
He always cares about, he's a good rolling partner as well. He never wants to hurt you. You know what I mean?
He's very good, very gentle. Yep.
Melly Sparkles.
Yes, this was a bit different, wasn't it? Because she does her drawings, and I guess it was a bit of a change.
Yeah, I like that. So I would love us to dive into more of these sorts of, I guess, abstract areas of our community. I think that's really cool.
That's right, non-traditional. Yeah. Oh, that's when we used to try and show videos in the background. Remember that?
It worked quite well, but then you started getting so distracted trying to get the videos up. Sometimes it gets to be talking and
technical issues I had.
Yeah. Daniel.
There's Melly. Yeah.
Out of lockdown. Where he was in a hotel quarantine.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
There was a lot of smack talking going on in that one too.
Yeah.
Good MMA. Well, very nice.
Yeah. He's a really interesting.
He's probably one of our biggest names, you could say, I suppose.
Yeah. But because of his crossover to the UFC, absolutely. And also the judo stuff. Yeah, any of our listeners who love judo should really get to know this guy.
Listen to that one. Yep.
Karen Payne. Cool.
Oh yeah, the Paynes. Karen.
Yeah. so Darwin Jiu-Jitsu scene. That's what stands out to me
Yes.
about that. I didn't even know that.
And as it turned out, we had other people from Darwin on as well. So
yeah,
that was good. She had a bit of a story too with her comeback after her car accident.
Yeah. She was really good. Really great energy.
Beautiful person.
Yeah, beautiful person. Also, Theo, whenever something stands out to you, please jump in because Kim and I can talk all day, as you know.
No, I'll leave the talking to you.
He's a bit shy.
I don't
Chris
think
Martin.
so.
Yeah, this one was a different one too.
Yeah, his stroke. Yeah, potentially jiu-jitsu related. Who knows? But so
it was a bit of an eye opener.
Yeah, a bit scary.
Yeah, it really was. Especially since we know someone from our gym who had a stroke as well and after training.
That's right.
It's really close to home. Yeah, and I really, it's made me more aware of my own body. Actually, that episode made me really think. Hang on, if I'm feeling like shit, I've got to really pay attention to myself. So,
that more often.
Yeah, don't fight it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, your messages are coming up too, Anton.
I don't know what to do about that. so
I'll edit it out.
Oh, here we go. This one probably
comes through. Thiago Braga.
Again, this one was one of my favorites of last year. This guy, man, we could get him on again. He was brilliant. These stories, they were just so much. I don't know, the Brazilians just have so much energy.
Yeah.
I can't explain. It comes through in the videos.
Yeah, and like the hardship of like when he came to Australia, and jiu-jitsu was like a dirty word. Like being a jiu-jitsu coach was not, his parents were like, don't, what do you want to do that for? Kind of thing. Like it wasn't like anything to be proud of. And so you had to battle through all of that as well. I really like that. Cool. Yeah. What else have we got here? Connor Evans.
Wrestling. We could still do a few more like that, branching out, not just jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It's someone from Sambo or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get out there and do the other grappling styles. But wrestling's the new thing, in MMA anyway. You got to know wrestling. So if you're doing jiu-jitsu, you really should learn some wrestling.
I think it's the new thing in jiu-jitsu too, to be honest. Like when I say new, not that new, but new enough that like if you've got wrestling, you've got a huge advantage when
huge.
Especially the no-gi.
Most schools are offering at least one wrestling class a week, or they should be, I'd say. If they're serious about it. Yeah. And he's a great guy too.
He's a great guy. Really, really happy to share his knowledge.
Yeah.
Hope and Ariel.
This is the couple, Hope and Ariel. Yes.
Really
competitors. Very, you're very good.
And we've like really kind of taken an interest in exploring the dynamics of black belt couples, like which I like.
Yeah, I know. You're very into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good too, because I think we've had a lot of OGs on, a lot of the sort of original people who did jiu-jitsu, back in the beginning, but these guys are probably a bit more new school.
Yeah,
so I think it's nice that we had them on.
Yeah.
As well.
That's right. Yeah. What else have we got here? Scott Carpenter. Oh God, this guy's a weapon.
Oh God, what a unit this guy is.
Yeah, his son's graded to black belt, so
a lot of the people on these episodes have graded. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
He should have been a black belt a long time ago, even though it only took him 5 years to get the black belt. I think he could have got it in less time anyway.
Yeah, he really, like, if any of our listeners are interested in getting inside the mind of an absolute jiu-jitsu lunatic, watch this episode. Yeah. This guy will mess you up. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm also looking, Anton, this was back when we used to do the different screen.
Yeah.
Thing. I like it when we're all on the same screen.
Me too. And every once in a while it still catches me out, so I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it's we get it right nowadays, and we're all there. We can see the look of everybody's face all the time, which is
everybody, I know. Sometimes I look bored. Here we go. Tara, this is yoga. I love my yoga, so I think I pushed for this one. And it's nice to have a little bit of, as we're saying, something a little bit different. And I think we've talked with a lot of our guests about recovery as well. There's probably no better recovery for jiu-jitsu than yoga.
Yeah,
in my mind.
I'm even dabbling in it, so
yeah. I got Theo to come along.
Really?
Do some big.
Wow. You're doing the hot yoga, or are you doing like the? Is that?
Hot yoga.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You know me. I do nothing less.
Wow. There you go. What's that like?
Everything extreme, not the.
None of that pussy standard temperature yoga for me. Got to be 40 degrees. Come on.
Yeah, so what's it like for you, Theo, being in that room? What's that like?
Well, I just leave a puddle behind every time, and it's
so standard
grueling.
wherever Theo shows up.
He tries to get the coolest spot in the room. We have to get there early so that he can get a spot near the door.
There's nothing like that though. It's brutal everywhere. But I would recommend it, Anton. If you haven't done it, definitely
give it a go.
Give it a go.
All right, I will take it on. I'll come with you guys. What the hell? We'll do an episode out of the room or something.
Oh my God, no, we won't. You can barely breathe. Trust me.
It was good having Tara on the show though, and expanding out into that really good. And actually, I've met the guy who founded yogaforbjj.com, which is big. Like that went massive.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he still owns it or not, but anyway, we might be able to get him on the show at some point.
Yeah, let's get him on. I'd love to do another yoga one.
Cool. Kieran Wright, legend. What an absolute legend.
Yes. Although we didn't realize the whole time we were talking to him that he was actually a black belt.
Yes.
It wasn't until we put the episode out and called it Tassie Brown Bear, and he said, I'm actually black belt, and then we had to do a bit of a edit.
Yeah.
That's so embarrassing, isn't it? That's really
He was the whole way through. We didn't even,
Yeah. I mean, you do your homework more often than me, Kim. So, you know, I not that I'm blaming you, I'm blaming me fully, but I'm surprised that it's us both.
Joint effort.
This episode just got reshared and got quite
GNLV's episode. Yeah, Jess, thank you. Shout out to Jess Fraser from Australian Girls in Gi for resharing that one. Thank you, because now suddenly we have a bunch more new listeners. So she is an absolute legend. So speaking about OGs, doesn't get more OG than her, and super humble, super down to earth. Yeah, just a beautiful human being. Yeah, really kind of delved into how, you know, what competing's like for her. And I love the human and her journey. Yeah, and her journey. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, legend. Well, we're up to 60. And from humble to the opposite of humble. I don't know what this guy is. Yeah. We could have done 2 episodes with him. Hey, he likes to talk. Yeah, he was good. Yeah, he does. He's got some stories. Oh my God. For a young guy. Even he's only like 25, but he's lived like more than that in his life by the sound of his stories. Yeah. Yeah. And like people, he's like the benchmark of like, as far as tough people to submit, tough people to compete against. Like people go, you know, I survived against Daniel Schubert, you know, or I could, you know, on a good day. Yeah. Anyway, they compare themselves against Daniel Schubert. So, and very mature for someone who's only young. He's a really lovely guy. Yeah, really down to earth. And he owns a gym now, I think. Yeah, he does. Yeah. Precision MMA. So. Yeah. That's great. Yep. Episode 69 was Mary and Richard. We thought we would get dirty with that, and I think they were disappointed that we didn't. They were expecting one line of conversation, and it went in a different direction. Yeah. In fact, yeah. But what I got out of that one, actually, they don't train together, and I find that was another interesting kind of relationship dynamic. Like I was really fascinated by that. Like I think it definitely for some couples would work better not to train together. And I let that. But that was fun chatting with them. They were a lovely couple. Yeah, they were fun. Very fun couple. Yeah, that was great. Then we got into the boa stuff. So then we did. You do have the bowl ones in here. Yeah, they're in. That's when we thought bowl was happening last year. Little did we know it was 6 months later. It's yet to come. Yeah. Although it is coming up. They were great ones. It's just around the corner now. So we're not going to get a chance to get any out. Actually, this episode will come out just after boa. So anybody wants to go back and look at old competitors because they had a lot of good stories, and they're a bit shorter than our other episodes. So you don't need to commit 40 minutes. You can get the full story in probably 25 minutes. So it was great. This guy, what an absolute especially champion. Was huge. This guy's a champion. I hope he can get out because he's from WA, and I don't know what the quarantine thing is about people coming back to WA. Hopefully he still competes. Yeah. I'd love to see him there. Mikhail T. Yahaya. Oh, Mikhail, yes. He's in it as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
Then we
this?
had,
Will Fagan. Yeah,
yeah.
this was the Bitcoin guy.
Yeah, I'm actually general manager of this company now, of this Litecoin project. And Will's an interesting guy. He's got a lot going on. He's building the Street Fighter of cryptocurrency. So it's really interesting to be part of that project. Loving that. I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
Shawnee LG.
Another Boa guy, yep.
Yeah, another Boa guy.
Good to see that we got it pretty right with the guests that we had on. They're all still entered.
Well, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah, Dan Carter. This was like the meditation, because I started doing a lot of meditation with him through the lockdowns. So I can't unfortunately say if I've continued with my meditation, but it's I would highly recommend any of our listeners looking for de-stress or anything like that, look into meditation.
Yeah.
He was a bit anxious, I think, about coming on, about having stuff to say, but he had some good stories.
It was a good podcast.
Yeah.
We just meditated, and then he would have realized.
Yeah, we just said nothing.
Yeah, that's true. Could have just meditated and said nothing. Would have been a good show. You and I talking shit like we always do.
Yeah. This is one with Nat Franco and Nadell. Unfortunately, neither of them are going to be in Boa now, but that was a really good chat. It was a good conversation, that one.
It was.
They're good fun.
Awesome human beings.
Yeah.
And little puppy was on the show.
And little Bruno. Look at how small he was. He was just here before. I was going to try and pick him up, but he weighs like 25 kilos now, so there's no chance.
Cool. Lachlan Conway, good guy. It took a while to get him on the show from memory, but then once we got him.
It did, but he had a lot of stories too. We could probably get him on again for a standard episode, because he had a very unique outlook to competing.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
Yeah, very nice. It'd be good to see. He'll be there on next weekend. It'd be good to see.
Yeah, awesome.
Andrew Devitt.
Just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to mute you guys. You guys carry on the show. Someone's knocking on my door. So let me just mute, and you guys talk about Andrew Devastated Devitt.
Yeah.
Wait, so he's muted, but we're still talking.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So now we can't even scroll up to the next.
No, but we can talk about Andrew Devitt, like black belt,
Yeah, he's an another old school guy that, look, he's got his cat there. See, everybody shows their pets on these things. Yeah. What I like about this is it's like a series of my coffee mugs, or if it's in the evening, I have a wine glass. So you can tell what time of the day this is recorded.
That's true.
By the beverage I'm consuming.
We need a name
and how
for
much I'm slurring my words.
Like the Kim clock. Yeah. We'll call it the Kim clock.
Yes. Yeah.
What time?
And how far into lockdown we were, whether I was fully drunk or not. Yeah.
Theo, do you get on the news while you
worse,
edit? Is that something you do, brother? Do you get on?
It tries to make me look good, but G had again. Yeah, one of my favorites.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned him, and I was like, I'm not sure. He wanted to promote his comp, which unfortunately didn't end up going ahead when we got re-locked down again. But geez, he had a great outlook on life. What a gem of a human. Yeah. Just absolute amazing guy.
Like every these stories viewers should watch, but he talked about potential road rage incidents and what he would love to do. In those situations with his, he's just a badass, but he's a really nice guy. He's father of 4 or something.
Absolute unit too. Imagine him getting out of the car in a confrontation, Jesus.
And make some funny stuff on his social media, which he's kind of stopped doing lately.
So funny. He's very quick on the reply on social media for sure.
Yeah.
Who was next? Alessandra.
Yes.
Yep. That's right.
I'm trying to think about
she's like a Brazilian from, I think you spelled her name wrong, man. I think it's one L.
She was in America.
Yeah, she competes like at the top level. She's very high level competitor and just very energetic, a lot of positivity all the time. She's always smiling, always laughing. Yeah. Like I said, the Brazilians, they just bring a lot of energy.
They do.
Everywhere they go.
Yeah,
beautiful. I met her here in Australia when she came over to compete, but then I spent a lot of time with her in New Zealand in the New Zealand camp, Bea and Letitia New Zealand camp that I did in 2019. She basically organised it. Yeah, she's wonderful.
Right. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. See, again, I tried to show, but that's when I think I was stopped around there because I couldn't do the technology. Anything with technology was too much for it.
It was a good idea at the time, though.
It did seem. Oh, the bulletproof guys.
Yes.
Joey and JT.
Yes.
Yeah, we tried for ages to get them on. Just scheduling times were tricky to find time for all four of us to get it happening.
Yeah.
And I think that's just when Sydney had gone into a lockdown as well, or they'd been in lockdown for a couple of weeks. So we sort of got some ideas for how you could manage your jiu-jitsu journey while you can't do jiu-jitsu. That was really good. And just general injury prevention. I feel that's kind of been a common theme with a lot of our podcasts, recovery and injuries. And
absolutely. And it's a really good service to write, like uncovering people who are in the jiu-jitsu community who are just awesome, and also how to like be better at jiu-jitsu or stay in jiu-jitsu for longer. I think that's kind of like where our niche has ended up. I'm gonna put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I would also say, I think Joey, I might be imagining this, but did he just recently become a black belt or something? Or was he already?
Yeah, end of last year. Yeah, he was probably the world's longest brown belt. He tells a story that people had got their black belt, I think from like the time that he was brown, they started, and then they got their black belt and he was still a brown.
Oh, wow.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, really long time. Yeah. Frank Barker, we had him on last year and he was very energetic, and we had him on again.
In the height of the
lockdown. He had a lot to say about the lockdown, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, Kim was like, let's get someone on the show who's going to really bring positive spirits.
Positivity, lots of goodness. But it was.
We love Frank Barker, but it wasn't quite what Kim was thinking. I was loving it.
It was quite political, yeah.
So good. And then, Chris Bones Burns.
Oh, yes. What a character this guy is.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
good guy.
He's living in America now.
Mm-hmm.
And again, a lot of stories.
We're the beginning of a theme where people's partners were helping them get their computers working before we would actually do the episode. His girlfriend really contributed a lot to him being able to do the show.
Not the case for me. I have to get my partner to help with technology. I can't do it.
Exactly. It's a theme. Interesting. And you've known him forever, right?
Forever. He's almost like my first coach, really. When I was at Dean's, he was more or less my coach rather than Pete. Yeah, he was great.
Got it.
We might need to speed it up, Anton. We're running out of time.
Yep.
I feel like we started to hit our strides around now. So this is where we want to focus. Anthony Krishna was not a jiu-jitsu guy, but Theo suggested him as an old powerlifting mate. And he
had some background in
a little bit, but it was just different. A little bit of a variation to the normal. It was good.
Look at this guy. He's a powerhouse right there. Even his beard has muscles. I'm telling you now.
Exactly. Yes, he is.
Yeah, it was awesome.
He's one of the strongest lifters in Australia. So his beard goes with that.
Definitely.
Right. And he also talked about what the stuff that was happening in the behind the scenes in the industry and sexual assault.
Yeah, a little bit of politics and stuff, but he managed it very well. He's only a young guy, but he seems mature, very mature.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for that, Theo. It was great having him on the show.
That's a good one.
Justin Full Metal Jugs D.
Yes. I think that's the first one that we had to do 2 episodes and then edit them together because he had a lot to say, he had a lot of stories. We could probably get him on again.
Cancer survivor.
He had his cancer diagnosis. That was very heavy.
Very inspiring. Yeah, real good guy out there to make people's lives better. Gotta love it. You gotta check that episode out. The amazing Sophia McDermott.
Yes.
I really like her. Yeah, she's really here we go. More messages popping up. All right.
There you go. Here's your messages.
Yeah.
On point.
Hart saying, Sophia's just such a look at her. Like she's the model of BJJ as far as I'm concerned, but she can kick our asses. So
we couldn't have done the Aussie Jiu-Jitsu podcast without having her on. Really, she's the first female black belt, so Aussie black belt.
Yeah, and she's got a great story too. Lots of good stuff there.
Oh yeah, so driven.
I
feel inferior around her.
It's great if we've got.
Here's Georgia Berry. Yep. Fight Back Project. Yep.
Yep.
She says she's the first white belt, but she's actually just got her blue belt. So
yes,
Congratulations to Georgia. Yeah.
In fact, I might just say congrats on your blue belt. Blue, Georgia. I need to be at the top. Okay, here we go. All right. Oh yeah. Gotta love the silver fox. He's just always got interesting
Yeah, that
stuff.
was the second
It
episode.
was his underwater suggestions as well. How to
Swimming,
train-
swimming when you
train in
can't
the
train.
pool.
Yep.
Yeah, and he had COVID as well. Like one of the
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
had COVID at that time.
Yeah.
Have you guys had COVID yet? I haven't had it yet. Have you guys?
Yeah, I think we have. We've had it. Yeah.
Wow.
Correct. Yeah.
This
this was probably one of our highest rating shows for the year.
wow.
So yeah, it was interesting because I think we originally were trying to get Andrew on, but he wasn't that responsive on my messages. So via Lorna, and I'm not sure if you're aware, Anton, Lorna has just recently retaken up jiu-jitsu. She's moved up to the Sunshine Coast and she's training jiu-jitsu again now.
Awesome.
And she's even competing. I saw a post yesterday, I think 2 golds, a silver and a bronze. So
Wow.
I just saying to Theo, that's just amazing. That's so good for female jiu-jitsu to have Lorna Locke back on the scene.
Yeah, she's a legend. She's an absolute.
Andrew Locke is probably the most legendary strength and conditioning guru in Australia. So if he's focusing a little bit on jiu-jitsu, that's good for all of us.
Absolutely. Love that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Roberto did free us.
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. Another episode, I think we had to do double and then edit it together because he had a lot of stories.
Yeah.
A lot to say. And he just had a baby. Poor guy. Like we called him up like 2 weeks after his baby was born. He's multitasking, changing nappies and talking to us.
I only see these people often just competing, and then I think, wow, they must be a mean person. The way they compete, they must be a mean person. And then they come on the show and they're just.
Oh no, he's such a sweetheart.
He's such a sweetheart. But he's a killer on the mat. Oh God, he's a killer on the mat.
That's it. Yeah.
All right, James Jelly. This is an interesting one. This is a fellow podcaster out of Tassie.
Yeah, another OG. Yeah.
And really
he's moved back to Victoria. He's just come back to Geelong.
Yeah, cool. And he was actually, he's one that Gerald put us onto.
Suggested.
Yeah. And he's just really not your average kind of, jiu-jitsu guy. He's got some different views, and it was really interesting to chat with him. Yeah, really good guy. Here we go. Lucky Deal, what a champion. Big influence on my life, my kids' life, my family's life. He trains pretty much all of us in one way or another, and just has great views. You have to get to know this guy better if you don't already. What else have we got here? Adam Jones.
What a legend he is. That whole family must just be a bunch of legends, really.
Yeah.
What a funny guy.
He's very willing to share his knowledge and talk about what he's got going on. And they were just, he's just really, really down to earth guy.
Yeah.
Nick Pope.
Isn't
The perfect name. I love that his name is Pope.
Oh, Nick Pope. Yeah.
When you consider that all the guys at it's like a Christian gym, the Renegade Gym, or it seems to be. I don't know.
It sure is.
A Christian spin to it. And his guy's name's Nick Pope, and I just love him. He's so great. He's a legend.
Very humble as well,
Yeah, very humble. Talked very openly about competing and what works for him and what doesn't. And
weatherman too.
Yes, he's a weatherman. Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh,
living golf.
Walt was a big part of the show too, actually.
That was a little bit of a shorter episode because he was a little bit noisy.
Yeah. We're almost to the top. Oh, here we go. Your birthday.
90.
December the 4th.
And my birthday,
We got that right. That's good.
Oh, Murray Bellenden.
Wow.
That was another very heavy one, but he was very open.
Yeah, I think he's the first guest to ever shed a tear on our show. And I mean that with just the utmost respect. Like if someone is willing to open themselves up that much on a show, that's special. That's just special.
Yeah, for sure. No, he was great.
What a champion. Callan. His daughter's climbing all over the couch. There's this big beastie guy, ex-UFC.
Yeah,
he's just like,
he's a character as well, isn't he?
He is.
He had some stories and a lot of smack talking with Dan Kelly.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really liked that.
Yeah. And obviously I didn't
that
set the
was good.
settings right. So sorry about that.
Yeah, just him.
Let's see. 92.
Oh, Jason Robig.
Yes.
That's right. Where Anton, I just have to share this because I know that you've shared this on every single episode that we've had.
Yeah.
So
I
want to
love
tell
it.
all our listeners, go and read this. I've read it. Anton's read it. He'll tell you all about it.
Do you love it? Do you love it?
Yeah, I loved it. Theo's also read it.
Yeah.
Theo also enjoyed it.
Oh,
Yeah.
To me, it gave me a whole new view of jiu-jitsu. Like that was what decided for me. I want to become a red belt before I die. That's all I care about now. Like just somehow survive long enough to become a red belt. It's because of that goddamn book. Anyway.
Oh, good.
Let's see. Southside. Vicente Cavalcanti.
Oh, Vicente.
Yeah, that was
Did he might have shed a tear also? No, I can't remember. Very emotional. Very.
He said it was the aircon, but I thought he
sniffly. Yeah.
The story about the gi that he gave to the
Homeless man.
Yeah.
Who became a black belt.
Yeah. Actually, that's definitely an episode worth rewatching. Absolutely.
Beautiful human. Yeah.
Beautiful guy.
Yeah.
This photo again.
That's when we trialed playing ourselves talking before the episode, which since canned.
Okay, yeah, we've since canned it. Yeah, we thought we thought people might want to know more about us, but it turns out they don't.
Nobody cares about us.
So there we go. John Will. He begins the beginning of the
the year.
Serious OGs. There's OGs you get, John Will, and really interesting down to earth guy.
And his partner had just gotten a black belt.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Melissa.
I'll never forget him saying, I slept with my first black belt. Those words are hilarious. I loved it.
We could definitely get him on again. He has a lot of stories I'm sure we haven't yet uncovered.
Yeah, and then followed by Peter Devine. And these two guys.
Yeah, we couldn't do John Will without doing Peter Devine.
Yeah.
Peter was also needing some help with the technology, wasn't he? But yeah.
Yeah. But I think the interesting part about this is I think both of them to some degree think that they are responsible for jiu-jitsu being in Australia. So it's really interesting to have those two kind of views on the show.
They both are, I suppose. So yeah,
in different ways.
Yeah.
And then 96, Matt and Liz Chick, two sons getting black belts at the same time.
I've had a lot of good feedback on that episode too. Yeah. I think ones where we have a little bit of a variety, like go off the beaten track a bit, seem to resonate quite a lot with the listeners. So we should aim for some more of those.
Yeah. And actually another cool thing about what these guys do is that they're out to bring jiu-jitsu to not just people who fit into your stereotypical jiu-jitsu mold. People who are just normally wouldn't have access to it. So I think that's amazing.
That's right. Yeah. And they reached out to us as well. Which is
did. Which is, I think it's the first, actually. I can't think of many other times that's happened.
Well, I know Gerald has shown us people, but not like he suggested people, but not anyone hasn't reached out and asked, can I please be on your episode?
But Liz Chick said, I've binged watched all the shows and now we want to be on it, which is like, that was brand new for us. Yeah, Connor Wynn.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah, another one that we'd had on previous, just at the end of last year, I think we had him on, or end of 2020, and he came on by himself. He could come on every week. He's got so much goodness to share.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah.
And then we're getting very close, 98, Mary Wildner.
Mary? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's just, again, just such a, like, I don't know how people find the energy to have young 2-year-olds running around, to be training like animals,
and teenagers.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. You want to get every female black belt on, I think, after that episode. That's
well, you sent the list too, so this is potentially could happen. That would be great. Every female black belt in Australia would be a real win for our show.
There's only about 40 something of us, so we can do it in less than a year.
That's true. Yeah. I think
we've already had about 15 of them on, so let's go.
Great mission. And then this week's episode, which has just been posted today.
Just came out.
So so Dave Hart.
Haven't even shared it yet.
Yeah. Well, I
There we
really,
go.
really definitely think that we should be proud of this little body of work. You know, it's the three of us have really busted our guts to do
I think
this.
we've forgotten to mention that we've got a new theme song as well that we
Oh my
would have
God,
played.
we have to put it out. That is
So-
thanks to Dean Burgess,
Yes.
who put the original one out and has remastered it
So
to come up with a
absolutely.
better version.
Wow.
We'll play it
using-
as the outro as well, so that we get a bit more coverage.
Yeah, do it both.
Let's
because
get on
it's
to
so good. Even my
Marianne
kids
and
love it.
get the logo taken up a notch as well. Like, let's just keep leveling the show up.
Yeah.
That's it.
We can have a
So
laugh.
many people in the community involved. It's really
That's
Yeah.
what it's about. Yeah. So let's just keep spreading the love.
Yeah.
Who would have thought this little conversation you and I had on a phone would end up here 100 episodes later?
Yeah.
Not many people even make it to 20 podcasts, but we're still going.
Yeah. So, and it's
I
a
think
real
we'll probably be
pleasure.
at about two or three stripe blue belts by now in terms of podcasting. So let's aim for that purple belt.
Yeah,
Let's get into
I
it.
like this.
Next
Well, if
100.
every 6 months is a stripe, when was our first podcast? Yeah.
Like the beginning of 2020. So we're just a bit over 2 years in. So yeah, we
Okay.
could be a one stripe blue belt or something by now.
yours come a little bit slower.
That's good.
I am a bit slower. That's right.
So,
My
Yeah,
stripes
I'm
only come every
definitely a
3
late
years.
bloomer. So we're not going by my gradings. Well,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the next 100 episodes with you guys. Thanks so much. You rock.
So anyone listening out there that is keen to be a guest, reach out to either myself or Anton or to the show. We would love to have you on. And thank you everyone that is listening. I hear people tell me all the time, even out on the street, sometimes when we're walking around, people come up to me, random people, and say they listen to us on the podcast. So it's
Amazing.
great.
It's so cool.
Please keep it up.
It's so much fun.
And we'll keep sharing the love.
Mhm.
Thank you also to Theo for all his hard work behind the scenes.
yeah,
Very
it's a
proud.
pleasure.
All right, everybody.
Thank
See you next week.
you. Lovely one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.